panel now. Luke Ball, a Republican strategist. Morgan Harper, former Democrat Ohio Senate candidate. Great to see you both. Morgan, I'm going to start with you. We previously heard from West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin, who's an independent, but he was with Democrats for decades. And what he said was, this is crazy. Do you think it's crazy that we could see an El Sayed or somebody like that on a ticket come November outside these primaries and possibly make their way into the U.S. Senate or House?
Well, I don't think it's crazy that we would hear such an opinion from Joe Manchin, who's taken money from every market area under the sun, corporate PAC money. He is the definition of the type of establishment politician that the American people are sick and tired of. And that's exactly what we've heard a lot from Abdul Sayed in his campaign, that he's not taking corporate PAC money, that he is going to be free to call out the corruption in Washington that so many people across the country and in Michigan are sick and tired of and ready to see change from, and new kinds of leadership.
That new kinds of leadership, though, is coming with some anti-Semitism. It's coming with a lot of things that people say that they're not comfortable with. I want to get your take on that, Luke.
Morgan has presented a false dilemma. It's like saying that you can't take corporate PAC money and then not be a Democrat socialist. It doesn't make any sense. The fact is that a lot of Democrats are offering chameleon candidates this cycle. They say that they're not part of the DSA. They want to appeal to the working men and women of America, and yet they will offer socialist policies along the way. It's like a blue-collar Karl Marx, if you will. And at its core, this is a debate over American values. Do you want somebody to be in control of you, or do you want to have the freedom as an American to make your own decisions? Do you want equal opportunity, or do you want equal outcome? And at the heart of this debate, it is not just over the soul of the Democrat Party, which I would submit has already been lost, but rather the future of the United States of America. Because if we see these candidates in power, they are not going to fine-tune the United States. They're going to completely overhaul it.
Well, we only know that because that's what the DSA tells us. We only know that because these candidates keep saying it. No police, no ICE, no aid for Israel, thereby no relationship with the Jewish Americans who have dual citizenship here. I mean, it's an anti-Semitic push. You're seeing this all across the board, so why not just come out? And look, Morgan, Al Sayed has tried to do this. He's tried to distance himself from that, but we played that long montage clip of all the times when he was pretty cozy with them. In Wisconsin, DSA-backed Francesca Hong is hoping to win the primary for governor. She was campaigning over the weekend with a controversial streamer, Hassan Piker, who also campaigned with El Sayed. Democrat strategist James Carville says, no way.
I am not going to be in the same party with Hassan Piker. I can tell you that right now. If he becomes a force in the Democratic Party, I'm out of here. I have no intention of ever being in the same political party with that guy. Now, I think that a majority, overwhelming majority of Democrats agree with me.
So I want to put a fine point on this, Morgan, because no one's confused about the policies of the far left, the DSA. They actually articulate that probably better than anybody in your party right now in terms of what they can or think that they can do. The issue comes with, do you want to lose your ability to raise funds? I mean, you've got so many mainstreamers in your party, too, that don't want this socialist push. How do you square it all?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's interesting what Carville's saying. First of all, I mean, I think that God might have something to say about Jim Carville continuing to dictate Democratic politics more than anything he might say, being over 80 years old. And this, you are here is getting a fundamental point.
Are you implying God because you think he would? Why would you say something like that? That sounds like death. Is that what you mean to say?
Well, what I'm saying is that we have a lot of people. Well, what I'm saying is that we have a lot of people in our party who are very, very old, who have been dictating strategy, and they have lost. I'll take an example, somebody that Jim Carville backed, Tim Ryan, for example, in Ohio, where I live. And that they said he was going to be the one that was going to turn the state. It didn't work. And so we have to start getting focused on what will win. And I want to come back to something that Luke said about control, because we're in agreement on that. The American people have a clear understanding of who is in control of both our politics and our economy. economy. And it is the richest people in our country. It is the largest corporations. It is monopolies. And that is something that we need to focus on as a party and to have be our clear message going into November. And I think it is part of the reason why Abdul is getting so much traction in Michigan.
Well, what's
that has been his
interesting
clarification.
are the lessons that people right here in New York City, and I live next door in New Jersey. I don't live in the city, so I'm watching people leave. I'm watching people with the ability to hire and those big corporations walk right out and take their stuff with them, Luke.
Yeah, you can be against political action committees and corporation involved in politics and not go full-blown Democrat socialism. It's like scratching an itch with a razor blade. I guess you accomplish what you want to do, but at what cost if you say that Democrat socialism is the solution to getting rid of corporate influence in the United States of America? I worked for members of Congress who said PAC money is a bad thing. I'm getting rid of corporations' involvement in my campaign, and they were still beholden to their ideals that they started out from the beginning with. So ultimately, at the end of the day, as you start to see the Democrat socialist influence in America, they will use language that sounds agreeable to the American men and women, to the electorate. But the solution that they offer is something that overhauls the United States Senate, eliminates all of the fundamental institutions that the United States was founded upon, and doesn't fine-tune America, but replaces it wholeheartedly with something else. And that's why I think it's lazy politics to say that Democrat socialism is the solution to the issues that the Democrat Party faces and the United States faces, because it overhauls the founding of our Constitution.
All right, great to have you both for a debate. Appreciate you. Thank you.